Yeah, we're waiting on a big court decision out of the El Paso region that could come out in any minute, which could ultimately impact us here in Southeast Texas. You know, during that first shutdown, a lot of restaurants got creative. You can see this place in Richmond, they still have to go out here. There's even outdoor seating, but the owner says really the bulk of his business takes place indoors. And if another shutdown were to happen, he says it would be devastating. Cooks at La Cocina in Richmond have seen a lot more orders lately.
We've seen people coming back. They want to dine inside.
Owner Andres Novoa is worried how much longer it'll last. With rising coronavirus cases and the governor's no shutdown order challenged in court, he's worried the restaurant will go back to curbside only.
We have a great community that has helped us, has supported us. And we're going to need their support more than ever now, if we go back to this lockdown thing.
Here's what's happening in El Paso. The county judge issued a 5-week shutdown that goes against a state order. A decision whether the lockdown can take place could come today. ABC 13 legal expert Steve Schellis says today's decision will only impact the El Paso area, but if it goes to the state Supreme Court, which would be next, it could impact the Houston area.
Whatever the Texas Supreme Court says, that's something that Harris County is going to have to listen to for sure.
Schellis says if the state Supreme Court looks at the case, it should move quickly. He's not sure a county judge lockdown, though, will override the governor's order.
I think right now that the state is on more solid ground based on my experience and the cases I've seen. But again, these are very strange times.
If the state Supreme Court sides with the county judge, it could mean a judge in our area could issue a lockdown. At La Cocina, the owner is worried it could happen, a measure he says not only hurts his business, but ability to give back.
Breaks my heart because we're used to giving. That's been part of our product here, our brand, giving back to.
Call Law Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Wakakadash, Bakita Yahweh, Bakita Yahweh Shah, Bakita Yahweh, Bakita Yahweh Shah, Bakita Yahweh, Bakita Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles and elders who I learned this truth from. Shalom to the hopefully led scattered across the four ends of the earth. As you see, a lockdown is coming soon. And with that lockdown, that means a lot of people really gonna be hurt, starving, don't know how they're gonna get by, don't know what tomorrow gonna bring. And so I'm gonna start out with the scripture in the book of James, chapter 4, James chapter 4, verse 14. Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeared for a little time, then vanished away. That's right, you don't know what tomorrow is gonna bring. Especially all these things going on, this year of prophecy. We make it to next year, things gonna get worse next year. Like this right before Thanksgiving, so a lot of people really gonna be, their soul gonna be hurt, their heart gonna be crushed, that they can't celebrate Thanksgiving and shit. Really celebrating the slaughter of the so-called Native Americans. Like, so you celebrating the death, the slaughter, of what these Edomites did to your own brothers, to your own people. I'm get another scripture in 2nd Esdras. I'm start at verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and destruction draweth not, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. And that's the times that we're coming to. So, when they do another lockdown, it's gonna really be a lot of protests. These Black Lives Matter protests gonna be nothing compared to they do another lockdown, because 80% of people, well 20% from the first lockdown even bounced back. 80% still ain't even up and running right now. So you Jay said we got your business, another lockdown gonna really just put you out of commission. And this is Biden plan. Not to say Trump was do the same thing, but people was, oh yeah, Biden this, Biden that. Man, another lockdown finna come. And Biden said that he was gonna lock it down. Some places and states are already locked down right now. They had a freeze right now. I think in Oregon they had a freeze right now. I think maybe it's North Dakota, South Dakota, and maybe Idaho. They locking it down. For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go in the city and should not be able. That's martial law, but with this lockdown, they might have actually military locking things down, like far as like, no, you can't come here. Like we're on lockdown right now. There's no in and no out. Going on to verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and the great tribulation. That's the thing. That's the times that we in right now. When all hell break loose, man, like when they put another lockdown, a lot of people can't get to the stores like how they was the first time. Like everybody might be a lockdown, like zero tolerance. I feel like the first lockdown there was like here and there, like that's some yay nay type shit. This second lockdown, man, it's gonna be zero tolerance, especially with Biden. You probably can't leave your house without your mask. You probably, once you step outside your door, they might fine you for not having your mask on. Once you step outside your door, they might have it, they fuck around and fine you for driving in your car without a mask, as long as you're out in public. Times we live in is crazy. You never know what tomorrow gonna bring. That's why the James 4:14 say that. I'm gonna get another scripture, second Esdras. Starting the 16th verse, I'm gonna start at verse 17 and read down. Woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? That's right, what you gonna do when these evil things come? When these plagues come, the pestilence, famine, martial law. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation, and anguish are sent scourged for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be mindful of their scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. A lot of people thinking they're going to be good. Now, I won't got nothing to worry about. If you don't got your how about Shema Rashah, you're going to have a lot to worry about. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall destroy. There's no escape, like in Amos. You leave your hand upon the wall and a serpent bit you. You escape from a lion, you escape from a bear. There's no escaping. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all the places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left and 2 in the field, which shall hide themselves in thick groves and the clefts of the rocks. As in the orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. Or when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so, in these days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and their ways and their paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegroom. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things and understand, ye servants of the Lord Yahweh. Behold, servants of the Lord Yahweh by Shema Rashah. Behold, the word of the Lord Yahweh by Shema Rashah. Receive it. Believe not the gods of with whom the Lord spake of. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, These players are not slack. As when a woman with a child in the 9th month bring forth a son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pain could pass her womb. Which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Them pains don't stop. When these players really starting to just, okay, this day, we basically at the time, like every day is something new. Every day these so-called COVID cases record breaking. Now they locking shit down. So don't be surprised if they lock your town down, your city down where you live in. Cause these players are not slack. Though they tarry, wait on them. Even so, not the players be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle, and those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And that's the times we living in. Be ye as pilgrims upon the earth. Like you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. One day you might go to work, and the next day, man, it might lock this shit down, man. You can't go to work. You can't go into the city, man. It might only allow one person in the store. It might really restrict on that damn 6 feet. If you're in 6 feet, they give you a fine and lock you up. So with that, Lord willing, you was at the fight, I just want to get a couple scriptures, because they're gonna lock this down. For sure, this is part of their agenda. It's not really about the COVID cases and shit like that, man, because all that's really, really bullshit. So you see, since the president election, which it ain't really over, but since November 20, I mean, not November 20, since November 4th or something like that, things been just skyrocketing, like far as especially in America, really the whole world. But a lot of people over here, a lot of people that's not in America just laughing at America. Because these people are dumb. They dumb. They have no common sense. That's why they gonna die in destruction, die in the family. When the lockdown come, that's when they can stress themselves out. Cause they don't know. They don't need to do they consider. Salaki. So with them in the day, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, double honors to the apostles, the great millstone who I learned the truth from, and Shalom to the hopefully lit.